So, we opened up the show about me talking a bunch of goddamn mouth breathing, knuckle dragging idiots who I'm pretty sure won't be paying attention to this next segment because none of them qualify. But college, college down here at the goddamn bottom right here, is college worth it? Now, I bring this topic up because I am at the end of a very long, very expensive tunnel. I have the benefit of being involved with the education field. They helped pay for my bachelor's degree. I still had to pay out of pocket for a lot of it. But the key to that whole plan was is I did whatever I could to not get a loan. And that ended up being very very beneficial because then when I went to the master's program, which is where I'm finishing up now, there's no financial assistance for me when it comes to the masters. That's all you got to pay for that shit. So because of all the time spent saving up money, whatever, I was able to pay for all that. But I'm at the end here. And one of the questions that we always get when you're getting ready to be done with college and all this other stuff is, well, what are you going to do after? Well, my question has been answered from the very beginning because I'm already doing the fucking job. The bachelor's degree got me the job. The master's degree is required for me to keep it. It's the only reason I did both.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me and go, hey, do you want to go to college? Hell no. But
Okay.
that job,
I'm glad you came in here and was honest.
yeah, right?
If you
So
would have
it's like,
stood on your fucking horse and said yes without that nuance shit, I was gonna lose my fucking mind.
no, absolutely not. And to be honest with you, I don't personally know anybody, and I've been to several colleges who literally will sit here and go, oh, I just wanted to take a subject because I was curious about it or I want to learn about it. I'm sure that there are. I'm not going to completely rule everyone out based on the small circle and sample size that I've seen. But I do know that there are far more people who are in college right now who have absolutely no fucking desire to be in it. But it's the way of the world here in the United States of America and in most countries around the world. They want you to get a college education. Now, the question I think is the college worth it? If we're going to have a solid conversation about whether or not college is worth it, we have to discuss the it. What's it? What are you expecting to gain from both your time, effort, and money from college? What are some of the most popular answers to that question? Well, the first one off the top, number one answer on the board, Family Feud style, when you talk about what do you want to get out of college, is what? A good paying job. That seems to be number one on the board. Everyone goes, well, if I want the good paying job, I got to go to college, I got to get the degree, and then they'll hire me and go to the good paying job. But the question that follows what do you want from college is it possible to get the good high paying job even with the degree? And I feel like that has mixed responses from
It
people.
is, it is to answer that question, it is, but here's the problem. The big problem is that a lot of people don't realize is that back in the day, the degree is what got you the job, which then in
Mm-hmm.
fact got you the experience. So
Mm-hmm.
the person without the degree couldn't even apply. You couldn't
Right.
apply. It, nowadays on job postings, 15 years experience to work at ShopRite. Like a lot of this stuff is like bullshit. They want you to have a bachelor's degree in business to stock shelves. A lot of it is nuanced bullshit to scare
Fair
idiots
enough.
to not to apply. That's all it is. It's a scare tactic not to apply. But back in the day, you couldn't get an interview because people were actually reading it. If you didn't have the degree, it was an actual requirement. You could spend time in college and basically leapfrog people who are working at a place to get the promotion because you had the degree that qualified you for the job. The problem today is, and I kind of distinctively remember when this was happening, Because I remember when my buddy was working at Lowe's, and Lowe's used to require a degree to become an ASM. In order to become an ASM, you had to have like your bachelor's in something. I think like business or some shit, some type of business. You had to have to apply to become an ASM. He was going to college. And I remember to this day, when they made the announcement that that was no longer a requirement, he quit college. The second they announced that you to be promoted to that next level, you didn't have to have, they no longer required a bachelor's degree. He dropped all his classes immediately. He dropped all his classes immediately, and all that studying time he was doing, he just went and worked overtime. That same kid today is now making, well, I'm not gonna put his money out there, but he's making great money. Good, really good money as a store manager now at one of the stores.
So he's not even an ASM anymore. He moved
past surpassed it. If anything, he's been basically he's in a position where, like, if he really wanted to, he could push the envelope and get into that district level. But he's got 2 kids, so he's got 3 kids now, actually. He's got 3 kids, so he's trying. He wants.
Looks like he was doing something else with his free time when he wasn't going to school.
And his wife's pretty well off too, so they're doing great. He doesn't need to push the issue. So
I know
that's why
she's happy. I know she's happy. She keeps letting them come at her.
Well, I mean,
so,
listen,
she's excited.
But you don't have to worry about money.
Yeah,
you ain't too worried about that. But anyway, I said to say the problem with degrees now is that if you're going to college and you're working on your degree, it's even harder for you as a outside of certain professions, like becoming a doctor. That shit ain't never going nowhere. You want to be a fucking doctor, you got to go to college. But for other stuff, if you are not actively trying to work in the field that you're going to school for, you're actually kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because if you don't have the people skills or any type of people skills more than anything, because if you're coming green out of college into the real world and you don't know how to deal with people, especially learning how to deal with newer generations, if you're a little bit older, whatever the case may be, if you're coming out of college with no experience, that degree is not, you're not going to beat out the 5, 6, 7 year girl who's been in that company, working the people, developing, learning the company, getting better at work. When that position opens and anyone can apply, you're going against someone who already knows how to do the job and has experience and doesn't require the bachelor's if they know what they're doing. That's, I think, the problem. Sometimes you're better off just working the 8 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, getting that experience and turning that into money rather than the degree kind of leapfrogging that for you into those positions that are being taken from people who are already working there.
Imagine that. It's almost like doing the job makes you more qualified than someone who was taught to do the job without actually doing the job. I don't know how many people that I've run into in my profession who got the bachelor's, because like I said, you don't get to have the job without a bachelor's. And it has to be a bachelor's in that field. It's not like one of the by the way, there's some jobs that will tell you we require a bachelor's degree, but it could be in anything as long as it's an accredited bachelor's degree. What the fuck is the point of that? It could be anything. Whenever you hear that shit, that's a red fucking flag. But in my profession, it needs to specifically be in that field. So here's the funny thing about that. Some of the dumbest people I've ever met in my entire life have master's degrees. Because for the most part, the highest percentage of people that are in my workforce have a master's. That's why I'm going for my master's, because you need the master's to stay in that field. And I have never met a dumber group of people in my entire life than the people that I work with right now. When I used to work at the UPS store, when I used to work security, when I used to work at banks, I'm 43, I've been around. I met some really intelligent fucking people. And of course, you got your dingbats. I have never, this is the one job I have had where the education requirement is so goddamn high. And it's not just bachelor's degree and master's degree, but there's other little miscellaneous certificates and professional developments and all these things that you have to do to maintain your employment. And they're still so fucking dumb. Like down to don't hit reply all I'm gonna do it again. But reply all. It's like, God damn it. I don't need to know that you're calling out on Friday for a gyno appointment. You can go ahead and remove me from that email chain. It's okay. It's all right. One person will say, hey, if anybody needs to take a day off, just send me an email, let me know. And then you reply, hey, this Thursday I'm getting my chocha checked. I don't need to be a part of that goddamn conversation. You and your cooch can go see the doctor on Friday. Leave me the fuck out of it. All right? This is a small example of what I'm talking about. We're all going to college, which leads to the next question that I have. Is college worth it? The institution themselves, right? The actual facilities, the actual schools in question about what we're talking about here, right? There's Harvard, and then there's community, city, university, budget school from down the road that has an enrollment of like 1,000 people, but they're all supposed to be accredited. They're all supposed to be wonderful institutions. They're all supposed to be preparing you for greater employment opportunities. Some schools are better than others. There's no doubt about that. Like all things, there's tiers to it. But for the most part, there are schools that have teachers that really give a shit. But for the most part, there's a lot of schools out there with teachers who really don't give a fuck what it is that they're doing in the class. And they don't give a fuck what you do with the fucking class. I have master's classes that I'm taking right now, which means everyone who is in my class already has the bachelor's degree. You cannot get into the graduate program that I'm in without not only completing the bachelor's program, you have to already be employed. It was part of my application process that I needed signed affidavits from my employers stating that I was in this field. So it's people who have a 4-year degree who are in the workplace with your kids, and they're fucking stupid. We have this thing for everybody out there who goes to school, they'll understand this. There's different terms for different schools, but we call them discussion boards, where it's one spot where you write up a document or you type up what it is that you need to type up to answer whatever question he's got, and you post it in the discussion board, and everyone's post lines up so everyone can read each other's posts. And some professors, you'd be like, type up your answer, post it, but then I want you to reply to like 2 other people to kind of get a general conversation started within the discussion board so we can all learn from each other and blah, 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 right? So not only do we see what everybody else is posting, but we now have to respond. And when I tell you that I have busted my head trying to be nice in some of these fucking responses, because you'll have the one person who wrote a dissertation. It's like 16 paragraphs worth of shit. And then you'll have the one person, hey, this is Mike. I read the article. It was dope. Check out my Instagram. And it's like, what the fuck is this? And we can't see what the grades are. We just know that's what they posted. But it's like this individual is in charge of people. Because that's what our job is. He's in charge of people. And he's a fucking dimwit. He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking maroon. So I have to question, if we're going to start asking, is college worth it? I got to start questioning these institutions. Because there are people who go to Harvard who are like, it was fun, I guess, to go, but I didn't, once I got into the field, I really started learning what it was that I needed to know. Harvard. My wife says this all the time. She graduated from St. John's. She did 4 years at St. John's. She did 2 years at Hunter College here in New York. She tells me up and down, I learned more in those 2 years at Hunter than I did in all 4 years at St. John's. And I concur, because I'm about to finish 2 years of my master's, and I learned more in my master's program than anything that I learned in the 4 years at my other college when I went from my bachelor's. So it really is, to me, like, you got to do your homework. Like, if you really want to walk away knowing something, forget the job opportunity. But if you want to develop some sort of knowledge of any kind, you got to do the research, and you got to really find the right spot, because most of the time these people are. You ever seen the Back to School when the guy comes in with the suntan lotion and puts his feet on the table like this? He's like, all right, everybody open up those textbooks and then throw them out the window because we're watching National Geographic on YouTube. Let's go. And that's it. Look, I'm wearing my PE shirt right now. See? If at first you don't succeed, try doing what your PE teacher told you to do the first goddamn time he told you to do it. And yes, I did wear this to work today. So everybody can see what that is. So your thoughts on the institution thing, about the ups and downs and all these different, like, what are your experiences with? Have you ever really met a teacher where you're just like, yeah, he's cool, or you ever met a teacher and just went, oh, this guy is a
I don't really
fucking.
like teachers too much, personally.
You make a general rule for everybody.
There's a handful, not even, I even hesitate to say handful, maybe one that distinctively pops up in my head that was pretty cool. But other than that, I was one of those terrible students, man. I just didn't like being there. I was one of those, like, for instance, one of the videos you sent me, I can relate very much to was it that video? What the fuck was I listening to? I was listening to something where the guy was like, I got in trouble in school. It wasn't me. I was watching a video on something else. I'm programming.
Okay.
And the guy was like, he was like, I was one of those people that I have a hard time doing when people tell me what to do. So, like, he's like, I was terrible in school because of that, for one. But, like, I always want to do things different than the way people tell me to do shit. So he's like, he did a course, and he was like, I wonder if I can get a job off of just doing this course, right? It was a pretty sizable course, but he was like, he asked around, can I get a job with this? And everyone's like, absolutely not. You need more of like this, and this. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he's just like, it didn't sit with me right. So I just went home and just created a CV and played the game. See, this is the people part of it. Play the game and just put the stuff on there that I know that I didn't sound stupid saying, and put my experience and stuff on there. And he said it took me a few months, but I got 4 hits, and on the 4th one, I got a job making $50K in in doing some type of programming for an IT company, right? So it was like, if I would have listened to them, I would have never got that job, but like, I would have still just be in school right now. So I feel very much like that person where it's like, I'm weird where like I always ask for advice, but like I never listen to it. It's like I'm asking you it's like I'm asking you your advice so that I know what not to do. It's weird. This is why I don't ask, like, try not to ask people shit, because it's weird. Because I'll ask someone something, they'll tell me, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it the other way. I'm gonna do it the other way instead. So it really just comes down to like the person, man. Like it being worth it comes down to you. If we're asking what, after 38 years of life and trying school multiple times, what I think people should do, if there's any young people watching this and you're unsure, that right there is your answer. If you are unsure, if you're not going, okay, I'm going to go to X school because I'm not great at learning on my own. I know I will procrastinate. I need the structure. I'm going to go to a community college and pick up some programming classes because I want to learn how to program, but I need that extra push. I need to be in the atmosphere to really learn. Otherwise, I'll just procrastinate and play video games. College is worth it. Find it as cheap as possible, but college is worth it for that. But if you go, I don't really know what I want to do, maybe I'll do computer science and go for... Stop. Don't do that. Just listen. If you think you're interested in computers, you're better off going to get a job at Best Buy than going to college, because now at least you're exposing yourself to computers and electronics within its field, and then you're putting yourself around people, right? You'll work right next, if not in Geek Squad, you'll work next to them, and you'll meet Sean. There's always a Sean in fucking IT. You meet Sean. You kick it with him. Sorry, how hard is it to do? Dude, it's not hard at all, dude. I fucking drink chocolate milk back there most of the time. These people don't. Oh, you think you can get me? You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that, and now you're getting hands-on experience. You're getting exposure. You're talking to people. You're learning how to get yourself moved to a different department. That's way more valuable than bullshitting yourself going to an MS degree or going through a MS program or a bachelor's program for computer science when you know the second you hit calculus, you're tapping out. You already know that from Jump Street. The moment your curriculum is gonna, and it will put you in front of calculus, you're done. You're wasting money, dude. If you're not sure, go get a job in something that you might be interested in. Like I said, Best Buy, electronics. The more specific a job you can get into to what you think you want to do, the better. But expose yourself to things and then later go towards the degree, because like I said earlier, the best thing you can do for yourself today is not only have the degree, but have the experience to boot. The experience is going to beat everything, no matter what, no matter who the fuck you are. I mean, obviously, unless you're talking about a doctor or a nurse or something like that. I mean, that's a little different, but still.
Yeah. A college degree cannot make up for a lack of personal skills.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a shy, introverted individual, nothing wrong with it, but you're playing from behind the eight ball. Because a lot of people that are in high level positions and businesses are not shy, introverted people.
Nope.
And they look at you with your timidness and they go, ugh, no, I don't want to.
And they don't do, and people, they don't do that visibly.
No,
they don't do that visibly. They will shake your hand. You don't know they're cringing at you because they are experienced.
I am an excellent, dare I say, borderline Hall of Fame job interview person. I don't know how many times I have won that job over in the interview. You look at the resume, you look at the application at the time, like when I went into banking, I know for a fact I got my first bank job because of the interview. Because I had that motherfucker, I was killing in that room, boy. He was keeled over. We have got to have this guy on staff.
I tell you what, I know you've been alive longer and doing the interviews longer, but I wouldn't even mind going record for record right now with my wife, dude. She is literally, since I've been with her and before we got together, undefeated. I'm not even exaggerating. There isn't one interview that she has had where she spoke to a human being and didn't get the job. It's never happened. One time,
gifted.
One time she didn't. So she was about to have finally her first loss, and they doubled back and called her back. She got the job.
They said something feels wrong about this.
They called her, was like, look. They're like, oh look, I know we said no, but like I wanted to say yes, but there was someone within we had to promote, but that person didn't want it. She's like, I called you immediately. I said, see, still undefeated. You're still fucking undefeated. She hasn't lost an interview. She has turned down jobs. She has called them and go, I cannot take this job. And they go, please put me on LinkedIn.
Please.
And the moment you leave that job, call me. I swear to God. A boss called when she was doing the job search recently. They called. She had two people on the ropes. She took the one that she has now, which she loves. And just the other day, the one that was going to hire that she told no, literally sent her a message. Go, how's that job going? Good. Okay. Cool.
Checking the temperature. Trying to.
And mind you, my wife has a bachelor's in finances that she doesn't use at all. That has nothing really to do with what she's doing today. What she has today, I mean, she's in school. She's actually almost done her bachelor's in business now for her career. But she is what's getting her in her position today, which is an HRBP, which is a high position, is her people skills and experience. It's because her people skills and her exposure and her ability to eat shit and be in uncomfortable situations for so long, she was able, and her combined with her inhuman ability to interview, she got in front of these people and scored a fantastic job without the degree. Now, the moment they got her onboarded, her boss pulled her in and was like, "Yo, you got to get that. Like, you got to get that degree. Like, I'm trying to get you more money. The only thing stopped me from getting you more money was the degree." And my wife was like, "Say less. I'm gonna be done this year." So her boss was like, "Perfect. We'll see you on your 1 year review." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there were people who worked at that job who tried to apply, but because she had the people skills, because she had the experience, and she's working towards the school. School was always important to her, but like it wasn't the thing that got her the job. And now she's there, and now she's always going to build on it. So, long story short, college, in my perspective, and you can give yours, I think college is worth it. I probably wouldn't have said that 5 years ago.
Right.
College is 100% worth it. You got to treat it like a business, and you got to be smart. Don't take the risk if you don't see the road ahead of you. If you don't know what you're going for, wait, build money. If anything, if you don't know, make money to negate some of the loans if you are saying eventually I want to go to school. Just think about it. I think too many people wing it, and it's just you're in debt. You're in debt, and you're still at the grocery store.
It's twofold. It's the people that think that go because they feel like they're supposed to, and then it's the unfortunate situation where the kid comes out of college and the parents are trying to force this square into a circle hole, and it just leads to debt and no real purpose. That was one of the things that I always gave my mom credit for, is that she desperately wanted me to go to college, but there was really no point in me. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going to go with it. I didn't have a fucking plan, and we didn't have the money to go in the fucking first place. So that's why I ended up going to that computer school, because at the very least, get a trade, get into the industry. The hilarious part about that computer school is that the computer school was supposed to help me find a job. It never did. And yet, for the rest of my life, every job I ever had kept me on board because I was a tech. Because I can fix.
I forget you went to tech school. I forget all about that. I thought you were just some nerd who played with computers. I swear to God, dude, until you just mentioned it, I completely forgot you went to tech school. I always saw you as the guy who like fucked with stuff, and that's why you knew how to do it.
That's how
I completely forgot you went to tech school.
Because I was a kid that just fucked with computers all the time, and my mom was like, "You might as well just do that then. Like, if you're not gonna go to college, you gotta do something, so you might as well do that." So I went to tech school. I graduated, and they were supposed to help me, and they never did. But every job that I had after that moment, the added piece that always kept me, no matter if I was good or bad at my job, we can't lose him because he's a fucking tech and he's in-house. And if we don't have him, we're going to have to call in a tech, and it becomes a fucking issue. Right now, at my job, when I'm supposed to be doing one thing, I will be called right in the middle of that to go to the office because the printer's not printing, the internet dropped, why is my screen flickering? It's like all kinds of shit. The tech stuff is the reason why I'm able to do the stuff that we do for the show. The tech stuff is what gets me. My wife has been spoiled for 23 years. She goes, I want to watch the movie. I want to watch that new movie that's out right now, Masters of the Universe. It hasn't even been on streaming yet, but I know you can find it, and then I'll find it. And then they'd be like, what's that movie that we used to watch when we were a kid? It was like 87 or 88, and it was this thing that had this thing. And I was like, oh, this? She was like, yeah, is there a way to, yeah, I got it. So it's just like all these different, I became so much more comfortable with computers because of the tech school. So that I think is a great way to end this segment, in the fact that like I told my son this all the time. I'm not the parent that beats into his head, college. We beat plan. And how does college fit into the plan? Where are we going from there?
How do you leverage college for your plan?
Right, exactly. Yes. Steph always wanted to be a teacher. So everything from high school, she predicated college with her high school courses. She got all the college math out of the way in high school. There was so many requirements that she came into college with because she already had it, because that was the fucking plan. That way, by the time she got to college, everything got done. And then when she got out of college, she went into schools just like that. So when the conversation came up, hey, do you want to do this job? I said, yeah, okay, I'll try it. But then, okay, we'll let you start, but you got to get the bachelor's in X amount of years. And then once you get the bachelor's, you got to get the master's in X amount of years. And I've completed all of the steps. But I'm telling you right now, you know me better than anybody. I never wanted to go to college. I never wanted to go to school. It was a lot easier to convince me to go because there was a guarantee
Yeah,
that
get a
this is
roadmap.
what's going to happen, right? Because when most people go to college, they hope they get the job after. I started college in the job.
Yeah.
There was nowhere to search. There was no. It was all. The more I studied and the more grades I got, the more money I made right where I was.
Well, it's
So
funny
it was
that
a
you
lot
even
easier.
brought up this conversation because I have, and I'm not committed yet, but I have a read submission conversation with WGU this Friday because you know how spiteful I am. I woke up the other day and realized that between you, your wife, my wife, and me, I in about give or take 5 years, I'm going to be the only motherfucker without a degree, and you, all three of you, will have a master's. So I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't
At
like that
least
at all
masters
whatsoever.
or something. But I've also just been really heavy into like just programming and watching a lot of stuff with that and really learning how to develop stuff like that. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe I can go into the more structured thing. I don't know. I'm on the fence still because I learned about CS50, which is a program you can take to kind of gateway you into programming and then maybe go from there. I'm not sure yet, but this is part. I wasn't even gonna say all this stuff, but I am saying it just because I think it's right, appropriate for the topic where it's like, I'm not sure I want to jump back into the structured class. What I just said again, if I go for computer science, I'm gonna get calculus. I'm not afraid of math. I've always been good at math. I haven't done math in a long time, and I'm sure it'll be difficult, but I'm not afraid of math. So my problem is the committing to that long, structured, get to the end type shit that I'm terrible at. So I'm weighing out my options right now, but I'm trying to be a lot smarter with it this go around than just jumping in because I felt like, because you got that feeling of like, I need to do something. I have to do, I'll just pick anything. Like, computer sounds cool, let's do this, and then you just keep fucking yourself over and over and over and over and over. So
this is what I tell Alex all the time because and you'll experience this very, very soon as your kids get older and they start going into school and the homework and the tests and all that stuff. It's not whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it is irrelevant to the entire conversation. Can it help? How will it help? And if both of those are positive, yes, it can help. And here's how it's going to help. Don't just who gives a shit how you feel. Just fucking do it.
yeah,
just fucking do it.
It's hard.
Because
it's hard, though.
It's hard. It's hard to turn that off. But I'm trying to. At his age now, he's at 11. I'm trying to burn it into his psyche.
Oh, knock it out early.
Turn it off. Just fuck it. Well, why do I have to? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter why. Why? Because that's hard for people. I need
it's hard for me. I've been doing it all my fucking life.
I know.
I
but
don't.
we didn't
If I can tell you how many times the I don't want to stopped me from this, is a whole nother conversation for another.
Yeah.
But if I can tell you how many
but
times,
someone's listening to this who experiences that, so this is good that you're saying that. Go ahead.
If I can express to you how many times in my 38 years of living where I don't wanna, and me standing 10 toes down in that shit, regardless of what you can find, whatever it is, has stopped me from doing something just off of the I don't feel like doing that, I would have been a fucking billionaire by now. Like, it started early too. That's why I'm saying knock that shit into them early.
Yeah,
I'm working on that at a small scale right now. My daughter's very much in the I don't want to today. She's in the I don't want to do that. And you know what I tell her? I'll give a damn what you want. We gonna do this. And then when you're done,
about what you want, man.
And I'm doing that deliberately to knock that out of them. If I don't know if you got any more comments, I got one more that I will be remiss if I don't say before we
go ahead. Do your thing.
Liberal arts. You see that? I did not cue him to laugh. Okay. I'm gonna be positive. And he is you. Don't listen to that side of the screen right now, okay? Liberal arts.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
Oh shit!
I was trying to give it to you. It won't give it to you.
Liberal arts. If you want to do liberal arts, I will still say college is worth it. Okay, hey, let me actually look at the camera here. I don't like doing this, but college is worth it if you are going for liberal arts with a caveat. try to weave in classes that could allow you to pivot into finance, business, or tech. So if you have classes, whether it be extracurricular classes, bonus classes, a little bit of extra work, try to work those classes into your semester. There's a big thing that as a liberal arts person that you do get is it is more social. That sounds kind of fucked up, but like the social aspect of that, I feel like is a little different, especially if you're going as like an art major. Like that experience, I feel like is way different than going to college as being a business guy and still socializing. So hopefully that made sense to people. If you are successful in your art, business will still, obviously, if you're going to make money off of your art or whatever it is you're trying to do, business is going to work alongside of it. Tech is going to go alongside of it. What was the other one to say? Finances I suggest for everyone to take, because no matter what the fuck you're doing, your finances is going to help you. So if you can add those classes into your work of your liberal arts degree the best way you can, or even if you double major or whatever it is you got to do, on the off chance for some reason you get discouraged or you don't want to do it or you don't feel like liberal arts did anything for you after college, you already have a foundation to go get a job somewhere else in those fields, and there's usually always money in those fields, and you won't feel like you started over from the beginning. Good timing on that fucking screen shift, by the way. It was really good.
Hold on.
Ew. That's all I'm saying, bro. Just trying to be helpful.
That entire time you talked, I was able to rip that from YouTube and upload it.
Fair enough.
Make sure it ended.
Hey man, I'm just out here trying to encourage some people, man. Some people just want to draw. You know, the liberal arts. Some
people just want to draw.
Liberal arts may just get hit on all the time, but it's worth it too. Just sprinkle something in there that you can make a pivot on the off chance something changes. That's all.
That's all it is.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, hey guys, go out there, make an investment, do what you got to do, but do it the right way. Otherwise, it will come back to bite you on your fucking ass.
Go to work.
Do what you got to do. Secure your family.